What's up, Comic Book Nation, and welcome to our bonus round video talking about the ending of John Wick Chapter 4 and asking the question, where does the franchise go from here? This will be a full spoilers video, so if you have not seen John Wick Chapter 4, please do not continue. Come back once you've seen the movie and join our discussion, and follow us on all platforms at Comic Book Nation. All right, you guys still here? You still here? All right. If you're still here, that means you've seen John Wick Chapter 4. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure you also have some big questions about what happened at the end of the film and where the franchise goes from here. So let's get into it. John Wick Chapter 4 picks up almost directly from the ending of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. John Wick was betrayed by his old friend Winston, the manager of the Continental in New York. He was shot off a rooftop and left for dead, but was rescued by Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King. And as we open John Wick 4, the Bowery King and John Wick unite to kind of take it to the high table and get revenge on them for kind of what they did to John at the end of the third film. Now, this all plays out across the storyline of John Wick Chapter 4 as they face a new villain played by Bill Skarsgård named the Marquis, who is a high-table member who wants to stop John from basically disrupting the assassin world. The Marquis kind of forces John and his allies up against the wall. Some of John's allies die along the way, and it becomes very personal for him to finally take on the Marquis. Now, here's where we're going to get into major spoilers about the ending of this film. John Wick Chapter 4 ends with a duel. And it is a duel between John and his friend, the blind warrior Kane, played by Donnie Yen, as set up by the Marquis. They get to choose their terms for this duel, and it's basically John has gone through a lot of steps to get himself back in with his Ramona family, the Russian mob family, so that he can make a formal challenge to the Marquis and clear his name and possibly get his excommunicado lifted and get everything right for him in the assassin world. But the Marquis makes the kind of pivotal switch of bringing in Kane as his kind of surrogate fighter. So it's John having to duel his best friend in this pistol duel. And it's very ceremonial. It's not very action-packed, but in the end, they kind of fool the Marquis because John saves his last shot at the last round of the pistol duel and takes a shot from Kane point blank and kind of fools the Marquis into thinking he's used his last shot and suckers the guy into trying to finish him off. And John gets to make the kill shot to Bill Skarsgård and therefore clears his name, clears Kane's obligation to the high table and sets everything right. However, the final twist is, of course, that John Wick does not make it. He dies from his injuries. He passes away after the duel and is buried by Winston and the Bowery King, and that seemingly is the end of John Wick's story. However, this is where things might get confusing for fans. John Wick 4 does have a post-credit scene, and that post-credit scene seems to set up or let us know that the franchise isn't going to be ending with the death of John Wick. And this is where we're talking about now, where does John Wick go from here? So, right now, John Wick 5 seems like it could or could not be a possibility, given that we saw the character die, and there's nothing in the film that makes us say, oh, this was a trick. John escaped. He's doing that Batman Dark Knight Returns thing, or the Dark Knight Rises thing, where he's just off having like a coffee with Anne Hathaway and stuff in Europe somewhere. No, it seems like he is dead. The post-credit scene picks up with Donnie Yen's Kane and also another character from the film named Akira, who was the daughter of the manager of the Osaka Continental, played by Rina Sawayama. And Kane kills another one of his and John's old friends named Shimazu Koji. Sorry for the name. Who was played by the Wolverine actor Hiroyuki Sanada, also from Mortal Kombat. And so in killing his old friend, Kane angers his daughter, and the post-credit scene shows Akira stalking Kane in Japan and about to jump him on the street where they're about to have another fight. So what it seems like we're seeing here is that the John Wick franchise is going to do what we've heard in reports leading up to this film and expand itself beyond just John Wick. There was a Continental spin-off project in development that is seemingly still happening, and that would follow kind of what is happening with these hotels at Continental, which Ian McShane's character Winston does get to bring back his hotel by the end of it. So the Continental New York gets destroyed in this movie, but rebuilt and it's going to be reopened. So that part of the franchise is still open. There's also the obvious thing of bringing in Donnie Yen, another major martial arts action star, as Kane, and implying that he has this much larger backstory that crosses paths with John Wick in the past, and also with Shimazu and everything that happened in Japan. So there's also possibilities that Kane can spin off and carry this series, or that we could see things from that past that would bring back like Keanu Reeves and other actors to kind of show us how John and Kane and Shimazu all kind of made their bones in the assassin world before getting to this kind of legendary status, or each of them kind of retiring in a way. So these are all possible expansions of the franchise that seem to be coming, because it doesn't look like Lionsgate is going to be ending this anytime soon, with John Wick 4 poised to now open huge at the box office across the world. That's our theory. We only have speculation. We also have plenty of excellent videos over at comicbook.com movies with us talking to the makers of John Wick Chapter 4 that you should definitely check out, because we do talk to like director Chad Stahelski about where this franchise could go, and Keanu Reeves about the ending and what it means to kind of bring this story to a close for his John Wick character. So be sure to check out all of that, and be sure to come back and check everything out here on Comic Book Nation YouTube, where we continue to give you the biggest updates about what's going on all over geek culture. I'm Kofi Outlaw, and thanks for watching. Peace.